I'm a 29-year-old woman, born and raised in a small town in Oregon. My childhood was mostly quiet, just my mom, dad, and my younger sister Lena. We lived in a modest 2-bedroom house at the edge of town, surrounded by woods and old neighbors who never moved. Life felt predictable, in a good way, until I turned 12. That's when our parents divorced. Mom moved to Seattle with Lena. I stayed with dad. There wasn't a big custody fight or drama. Just 2 kids split between 2 households, and a whole lot of space growing between us. From that point on, I saw Lena mostly during holidays. Sometimes we'd do a weekend together, but it was rare. We became visitors in each other's lives. Dad and I, though, we got close. Not the loud, over-the-top kind of close. Just steady. Every Saturday was project day. Fixing the old truck in the driveway, cleaning gutters, fishing at the reservoir when the weather held. He wasn't a big talker, but he always made space for me. Never missed a school concert or a parent-teacher night, even when I knew it bored him to death. Lana changed a lot during those years. When she visited, she seemed like she couldn't wait to leave. She'd stay glued to her phone, roll her eyes at the town, and ask when we'd be done with whatever we were doing. Her bond with dad got thinner every year. Mom remarried a few years after the divorce. Her new husband was in finance and had a high-rise condo with a view of the bay. They were into fine dining and destination holidays. I heard from Lana that she got enrolled in private school, got a new car at 17, and had her rent covered when she moved out for college. Meanwhile, I worked 2 part-time jobs and landed scholarships wherever I could. Dad pitched in where he could, textbooks, dorm essentials, an occasional grocery run. He wasn't wealthy, but he never let me go without. I never resented Lana for the extra help she got. It just felt like 2 different lives running in parallel. I graduated with a degree in marketing, moved back home to a small agency job downtown, and picked up where Dad and I left off. We spent weekends fixing up the garden, cooking, watching old westerns. It was our rhythm. Lena only visited twice that year, once on Easter, then again for a rush Thanksgiving dinner where she kept checking her watch. She didn't stay long either time. Then, last summer, everything cracked open. I came home one Sunday afternoon from grocery shopping and found Dad in his recliner, eyes closed. No warning signs, no phone call. Just a quiet house, a cold cup of coffee next to him, and a bag of oranges in my hand I never got to put away. The coroner said it was cardiac arrest. The days after were a blur, calls, paperwork, funeral planning. I handled most of it. Lena flew in the next morning. She didn't ask about arrangements. She didn't help me sort anything. She walked into the house like she hadn't been away for years. I gave her space, but there wasn't much to say. Dad's will was straightforward. He left me the house and his truck, both things I'd been helping him maintain for years. Lana got a sizable sum of money and a few personal items, photos, jewelry that belonged to our grandmother, a carved jewelry box from when she was little. There was no fighting over it during the reading, but her silence afterward was heavy. As soon as we left the attorney's office, she snapped. Said the will was a joke, that it proved Dad never cared about her, that everything she got was a token. I tried to explain that it was fair, but she wouldn't hear it. She stormed out before I could finish. 2 days later, a second cousin I barely knew messaged me asking why I had cut Lana out. Then a neighbor asked if I had made Dad change his will recently. I was confused until I realized Lana was talking to people, telling a version of the story where I was the villain and she was the discarded daughter. I didn't respond to any of it. I just tried to get through the following weeks. But the noise didn't stop. People I'd known my whole life started treating me differently. Some avoided eye contact. Others asked vague, loaded questions about how close I'd been with Dad near the end. Meanwhile, I kept trying to hold on to what was left. I trimmed the hedges Dad used to fuss